Oh, Pearson gets into the 95 of Folks. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona, and away go for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now, as we've got three wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 the lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out, and away we go for the very first time here at Oklahoma International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the Team Goon Squad Super Speedway Shootout, the Money Series. $15 entries up to a $475 purse, and a whole lot of action. I'm your host, James East, bringing you the action 1080p 60 frames a second on behalf of TeamGoonSquad.com here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. We've got 17 paid entries here tonight, 55 laps on the board, and a whole lot of racing yet to come. Thank you as always to the fans, friends, and family showing up, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, as well as supporting the broadcast. Let us know in the chat where you're from, who you're cheering on. We've already got Lindsay cheering on. She's here for Jaden Hopp, who tied for the most amount of money last race we held here. As looks like drivers starting to get set for the grid. Let's run through. Jaden Hopp starting on pole. Levi Opitz starting second. Sean Williams starting third. Michael Keithley starting fourth. Norman King starting fifth. John Darnell starting sixth. John Kasai starting seventh. Danny Barnes starting eighth. Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, he's starting ninth. Jeremy Barber starting 10th. Ryan Perkins starts 11th. John Ward starting 12th. Cycle it on back to Bradley Stefan starting 13th. Scott Schuer starting 14th. Carol Esteele starting 15th. And Logan York will be starting 16th. Again, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on. Drivers will frequently have the broadcast pulled up on a separate monitor device, and if they don't, they just about always go back and watch this thing over. Now, last Super Speedway event we had, it was Antonio Bianchi taking home the grand prize. Jaden Hopp finished second. So it's going to be all eyes on that number 5 Toyota starting on pole position. He wants the top spot. He wants the oversized check being mailed to him, as it looks like drivers starting to roll off here and get things started. Now we're expecting this to be a 2-stop race. We've got Xana Thompson. She's cheering on John Darnell and Team Hyper Motorsports. Some new drivers coming out here to the Team Goon Squad money events. The events have been slowly climbing in popularity as something has happened. Doesn't look like Carol Steele has taken the grid. Looks like he might be starting from pit road, so not quite sure what's going on there. And Lindsay just made a good point as well. Jaden Hopp, I believe it was the Team Goon Squad Gen 4 Cup Series. He brought home the championship on Monday night for other in-house series here at Team Goon Squad. So Hopp has a bit of confidence behind the wheel. It's going to be interesting to see how he does in his second cash-paying Super Speedway event. Purse is up to about $188 here tonight. As we get ready for that iRacing safety car to make its way down pit road. 15 drivers out on track. We're not sure what happened to Thiel. He was a late entry, getting sponsored by Jeremy Barber in today's main event. We got Shada cheering on Jeremy Barber, a.k.a. the Lawn Dart, but we are green flag racing here at Daytona. The Team Goon Squad Super Speedway Shootout is underway. We did get the report that Thiel isn't going to indeed start from pit road. Now, drivers have been instructed no three-wide action on the opening lap of this main event. Following the opening lap, it is entirely in their hands on when they want to push the issue and who's going to play it safe. Jaden Hopp still holding on to the lead in that number 5 machine. Now, it says number 5. I believe Hopp actually in the 81 machine. We'll see if we can get that corrected in live timing and scoring here. As Norman King, the number 28, he's up 4 spots very early on, getting on the loud pedal. And we are rocking and rolling here. Jaden Hopp holding on to the race lead. Norman King running second. No, it's going to be Sean Williams as they battle side by side. Levi Opitz, Michael Keithley rounding out the top 5. Now, cool little bit of information from the fans. Jaden Hopp, sponsored by Living Dead Girl, a band from Canada, who I believe is led by Molly Renwick, so good to see a little bit of cross-collaboration here. Now keep an eye out as well. Logan York, also a newcomer in the number 01 machine, kind of hanging out the back, staying out of the danger zone, and that's a very common and very wise strategy. We've seen it time and again. To make it till the end of these super speedway events, you have to still be here on the final lap. So some drivers going to kind of play it safe, take it easy. Jaden Hopp wants to be out front, thinking that clean air is the safest place. He's getting a big push from Sean Williams in the number 89 machine. Fastest lap right now, Michael Keithley, the number 53 Ford F-150. Now, last super speedway event, we had, I believe, 3 cautions. Going to be interesting to see if tonight's going to be cleaner or maybe a little bit rougher for the drivers. And we do have a few great onboards as well as we check in on Jeremy Barber. So it looks like he's got some sort of connection issues there. See if we can get that updated. There we go. We got Jeremy Barber in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You're on board the Team Goon Squad back number 67. You can see the focus out of the big, bearded, beautiful man that is Barber. Barber currently running 6th out on track. He's up 4 spots. Now the top 5 all pay out here this evening. So that means 11 drivers will be going home empty-handed. Again, the top 5 receives the payouts. The race leader will receive a 12 by 18-inch novelty check, which is something we haven't really seen in other money series across iRacing. And of course, always bringing you the high-quality production value up here in the booth on behalf of Team Goon Squad. Speaking of sponsors, big shout-out to Lap Zero Podcast, coming on board as our title podcast sponsor this year, as well as Propane Depot out of San Antonio, Texas, coming on board with this series. So great to have the support of such great companies, great iRacing fans as well. There's Norman King. He's leading things on the high side in that number 28 machine. Norman King's got the Praisdale cardboard cutout in the background. You can see him working the wheel just ever so slightly with the VR, and you can also see just barely those lips moving out of King. He's communicating with his teammates on what the strategy is going to be and when they're going to try and make some moves here, if they're going to. So King seems to be content up on the high side. King very briefly taking over the race lead from Hopp as they're side by side coming out of turn 4. Ooh, King ahead by about 100th of a second. Who's it going to be at the line? It's going to be Hop on the inside. 200ths of a second advantage as they are still stacked up side by side. We haven't seen really anybody yet try and make this a 3-wide situation. That's got to be nerve-wracking for the likes of somebody maybe like Danny Barnes, the number 7, or Michael Keithley, the 53, running the inside line. No real chance of a break. We've got somebody out of formation. That's going to be Levi Opitz in the lap 0 back 31 machine. Way down on the apron, letting the field by before he rejoins. That's going to be Scott Schuer, the number 4, right ahead of him. So Opitz maybe taking a look at what's going on ahead of him, saying, you know what, a little bit risky. I'm going to back out of this. Let's let these guys have their own problems, and we'll get things figured out. Now, somebody we haven't talked about since the beginning of these race, Carolus Theo, the late entry, started on pit road. He's about a half lap back from the competitors, and that could mean lap traffic on the horizon for Jaden Hop and Norman King, who are leading their respective lines. Now, Hop does have Sean Williams, the number 28, giving him a bit of a shove, trying to see who that is behind King. I think that's going to be Danny Barnes, the number 7. Leading his support on the outside line. We see a little bit of 3-wide action there in the middle of the pack. I think that may have been Logan York. Yes, up on the high side, a newcomer here to the Team Goon Squad races. He's around John Darnell, Bradley Stefan. That's about the 11th place pack here. Darnell, the number 99 machine, a very beautiful Chevrolet. He's up on the high side. Our charger right now is going to be Danny Barnes, the number 7. He was briefly showing up 4 spots as he battles side by side with Michael Keithley. Keithley in the last spot for a payout position. Michael Keithley running the trademarked Get Out of My Swamp back 53 Ford F-150 with the Shrek proudly all over that machine. I've got to say, I'd like to take a point here of how friendly our fans are, as well as all the drivers on track. A lot of camaraderie here at all of the Team Goon Squad Racing Series. Even in the money races, very polite action. Now, we do have race control Joseph Penn up in his own respective booth tonight, making sure drivers stay nice and polite. And I think, let's see what the fans think about this. I'm thinking in future Super Speedway events, maybe we put up a fans' choice poll for the viewers. That way the viewers can get on the action, vote for who their favorite driver is, and maybe award that driver a little bit of swag if they're nominated as the fans' choice. Let us know what you think in the spectator area. See if that's something you're going to be interested in as we continue to watch Hop and King side by side. Oh, but there is lap traffic up ahead. That's going to be Carolus Steele, who started from pit road. So for the first time, it's going to be a little bit of mandatory 3-wide action. Now, Thiel not necessarily out of a chance here. With 16 drivers out on track, even if he gets put down a lap, we are expecting at least 1 caution here tonight. As you can see the field start to tighten up, Thiel goes to the high side into turn 3. Here goes a white knuckle moment. King and Hop lead the field through as we're 3 wide. Looks like the pack's going to get through okay. And it looks like, yes, everybody's going to survive the first brush with lap traffic here today. I saw a little bit of racing back in the middle of the pack, too. Looks like that was John Darnell, Bradley Stefan, Ryan Perkins, John Ward, all battling just inside or just outside the top 10. As drivers playing a high-speed game of Snake here, everybody trying to find a dance partner who they're going to draft with. Hop maintaining that inside line. Norman King up on the high side, getting pushed from Danny Barnes. Now, last event, Danny Barnes was a odds-on favorite to do well here at the Super Speedway event. Was unfortunately involved in some early race incidents that ended his chances. So hopefully things will go a little bit better for the old lucky number 7. As he gets shuffled back slightly up on that high side. That inside line's got some momentum. Sean Williams giving that push to Jaden Hopp. Making it happen, not having too many exciting moments yet. We're 13 laps in. We're expecting our fuel window to open up around lap 25, close on around lap 30, I believe, from what we've seen in races past. Looks like the inside line's got a little bit momentum. Norman King's going to fall back to 3rd. Still getting pushed from Danny Barnes in that number 7. You can also see the number 25, the world-famous Australian Gareth McAllister. He's 3rd in line up on the high side. Representing our series sponsor, Lap Zero Podcast, on the bed of his Ford F-150. Right now, it's a Toyota up front with Jaden Hopp. Ford in 2nd with Norman King. Chevrolet in 3rd with Sean Williams. Gonna be interesting to see. So far, it's been pretty respectful, pretty calm. And we say it each and every week. Sometimes the drivers don't necessarily retain it because they get a little bit of red mist, as drivers tend to do. But at these super speedway events, it's just all about making it to the last 5 laps with a clean truck. Drivers do have one fast repair available for the new fans here at Team Goon Squad. Maybe watching one of our events for the first time. Maybe watching an iRacing event for the first time. They do have that fast repair, a get out of jail free card, if you will. So if you find yourself with a crashed race truck, you can make your way down pit road, use the fast repair, and leave pit road with basically a brand new truck. So drivers have a little bit of opportunity here to play and not feel too at risk. Lindsay saying that she wishes or misses having McAllister up in the booth. McAllister usually called the previous Monday Night Series Velocity Racing League that we covered at Team Goon Squad before they unfortunately had to shutter their doors. But I can promise that McAllister will be back, I believe, for future money events in the future. Once this series is a little bit more established, we do plan on having McAllister call the action for our cash-paying events. Oh, we saw a little bit of a wiggle there. Jaden Hopp gets pushed around. And almost triggered the pit road lights. Not sure if maybe he got a shove that wasn't quite square. But he is able to overcome. It looked like Norman King was going to be able to snag that number 1 spot, but the field was able to check up. Nobody wants to cause a crash this early into the main event. But a white knuckle moment there. Let's see if we can get a replay queued up. In the replay queued up, so we're watching the number 81 up front. Oh no, he got bumped from Norman King. King came down a little bit and doored Hopp. But luckily, Hopp was able to quickly recover. That's why he's an absolute pro at iRacing. I mean, again, as his mom said, he just won the Team Goon Squad Gen 4 Cup Championship, the free-to-join, free-to-race league that runs every Monday night. He was runner-up in our very first Super Speedway shootout event. So the young driver definitely has the talent, but Super Speedway, a little bit of luck involved to make it to the end. You've got to find somebody that is very comfortable pushing you towards the front. As the top 3, a bit of a breakaway. What has happened to Norman King as he falls back heavily, and he's going to get squeezed in the middle of 3 wide scenario. No, King is going to get into McAllister. King is going to bring out the first caution as the field goes crashing around. I couldn't quite see who King got into first as the field tries to check up. Scott Schuer tied up in that one. Levi Opitz taking evasive maneuver. And that is going to bring out the first caution of the night, 19 laps in. So let's see. King goes up high, tags the 76, I believe that was. McAllister gets cleared out. Oh, who was that up front? Was that Danny Barnes? Barnes just can't catch a break here. And King gets tousled around. The number 4 of Scott Schuer is going to come in and give a good hearty blow to King as well. And now we wait to see what race control decides. So that'll be our first caution of the race, 20 laps in. I would imagine the field is going to cycle down pit road. And let's see. A very dejected Norman King there. Going to be a little bit disappointed in that one, so we're going to wait on race control's decision, although I feel fairly certain that one's going to be on the 28 of Norman King. And that is the reason as well we do not have driver cameras with live audio, because you will hear all sorts of spectacular language. Norman King, Danny Barnes down pit road. I think this is going to give Careless Thiel the wave around. So we said early in the race that's all it takes to get right back in the hunt. As I think Hop is going to lead the field down pit road here. Yeah, wise choice, I think. 20 laps in, time to grab some fuel, grab some fresh tires. There's a little bit of a busy pit road as drivers try to shuffle into their pit stalls. Oh, we see somebody absolutely missed it back there. Yeah, exactly. Lindsay said mom and family audio. There's a very good reason why we don't have drivers on the air during the race. So that's going to be our first caution, 20 laps into this feature event. Out of pit road is Jaden Hopp up front, Michael Keithley second. John Kasai now sitting third. Sean Williams and John Ward will round out the top 5. Shada adds saying now that Thiel's back on the lead lap, expecting to see him charge towards the front and maybe get into a money-paying position. So with extended stays on pit road, it's Norman King, Gareth McAllister, Logan York. So interesting to see those 3 drivers maybe opting to fix their trucks the old-fashioned way and try and save a fast repair for the end of this thing. Now, I have not seen Thiel with the Lucky Dog. I don't think he was involved in that incident. So I'm not sure why he didn't get the wave around. So Thiel still showing at the back here. I wonder if he maybe missed it or maybe had some sort of incident. Now, iRacing, if you're involved in any sort of incident, you will not receive the wave around. So unfortunately, we did not get a report yet from race control. For this restart, it's going to be Jaden Hopp, Michael Keithley, your first row, John Kasai, Sean Williams, your second row, John Ward and John Darnell, your third row. Careless Steele still showing a lap down for some reason, but all 16 drivers back out on track. So it's going to be interesting to see. So now, with this restart, the first restart of the evening, drivers are permitted to go 3 wide at any point that they desire. Curious to see if anybody's going to take that option. For the most part, it seemed like drivers were fairly content running 2 wide until we saw that mistake 20 laps in from King in the 28. King is at the back of the line. I'm almost positive he received an EOL, but we are green flag racing once more at Daytona. Not quite to the halfway mark here this evening. And Michael Keithley with a great start, and the Shrek back 53 machine getting pushed by Sean Williams. The outside line has some legs here. Are they going to drop down in front of Jaden Hopp? Yes, they are. Trying to see who that was. I think that was John Darnell, the 99 machine, also going down low. So Jaden Hopp, for the first time tonight, finds himself outside. There he goes, back inside the top 5, just ever so barely, as he was side by side with, I believe that's going to be Ryan Perkins and the number 6 machine. So it's Keithley, Williams, Darnell, your top 3. Hopp and Ward rounding out the top 5. And it looks like Darnell going back to the high side ahead of the 92 machine of John Ward. Now there's about 3, I'd almost even say 4 different small groups that are kind of working together here at this event to try and put their team in those money-paying positions. So over the course of the race, you might see a driver give up a position here or there in favor to get linked up with their teammates and plan a long-run strategy. There are maybe 3 or 4 drivers that are independent drivers, privateer efforts without teams. Oh, I saw a big blink there on the inside line out of the, I think that was Hopp. Yeah, that was on the inside. But there are 3 or 4 independent drivers who are running all by their lonesome out there. And that makes it a little bit tougher at these super speedway events to find a dance partner, somebody that you can trust to push you till the end. Up front, it's Michael Keithley on the inside line. John Darnell up on the high side. Sean Williams pushing Keithley on the inside. Looks like that's going to be the 92 of John Ward pushing Darnell's 99 machine. Danny Barnes back in 15th. Sets the fastest lap of the race, a 48.14 here at Daytona. Almost hit 200 miles an hour, 197 miles an hour trap speed his last time by. And a very, very high stakes game here. Gotta really be careful. Any mistake at 200 miles an hour can very quickly get you into a world of trouble. You got about 15 drivers in this pack. I'm trying to see Thiel, who is a lap down in the number 16 machine. He's 5th in line on the inside line, trying to get the lap back the old-fashioned way. As Darnell is going to get credit for a lap led the first time in that 99 Chevrolet. Michael Keithley 0.04 of a second behind. Starting to see some 3-wide action. I think that is Logan York up on the high side. But we've got another incident unfolding. And the yellow flag will come out. Trying to see who that was. Was that McAllister? Was that Bradley Stefan? Oh, I think Norman King's going to be involved in that one again. The number 28. Let's see if there's any frustration a little bit there out of King, as his race could be over. Let's get that replay queued up once more. Focus in on Bradley Stefan and the number 10 machine. Let's back that up a little bit. I can't. So Norman King is in the middle. Trying to see here if King goes high. It almost looks like Netcode is going to grab those two guys together. And unfortunately, Norman King just not having the night he was looking for, as it is a second caution right as we pass the halfway mark. So we will have the crossed green and white flags as well as the yellow flag all at once. Now I'm curious, we might see a pit stop from these drivers if they think they can make it till the end here on fuel if we go green, but that's a big ask. Second caution right past the halfway mark. And looks like the field's going to come down pit road. We've got one dark horse. Uh-oh, something's happened to Bradley Stefan, though. What just happened there? Stefan, the number 10, showing involved in an incident. Stefan shows as the number 10, looks like the 89. I think he missed a downshift. So Perkins, the dark horse, opting for track position. More so. So interesting call from the number 6 machine. That's going to show him up 10 spots, but he's got 8 laps less fuel than anybody else on track. Now, during this pit stop, it looks like just about everybody except Scott Schuer and Gareth McAllister opted for only fuel, not choosing to take tires here. So Perkins in the U.S. Army-backed Ford F-150 going to try and get the track position. He's going to hope for another caution. And I believe this does put Careless Theo and the number 16 machine on the lead lap, as we are under eye-pacing conditions for the second time this evening. We've got Lindsay asking, how many sets of tires? So unlimited sets of tires here at the Super Speedway Shootout. And to be fair, the tires, not really much of an issue at super speedways. The drivers have unlimited tires behind pit wall. They have 60% of the maximum fuel allowed in their trucks at a time. We've got Jerry cheering on Jaden Hopp, currently 3rd on track. He'll be starting in the 2nd row with this restart. The front row, well, as I say that, looks like Hopp may be on the front row. Not quite sure here. Yeah, exactly. So Lindsay's saying, hey, you know, the tires don't matter as much as such as the track at Darlington, and that's absolutely correct. So super speedway races, especially the shootout series, it's a fair amount of skill, a little bit of luck to make it till the end. As we get ready for our second restart, it's going to be Ryan Perkins starting on the inside line. Jaden Hopp accompanying him on the front row on the high side. John Ward and Michael Keithley will be your 2nd row. Sean Williams, Levi Opitz will be your 3rd row. It's going to be about 25 laps once we get this thing fired back up. $188 up for grab amongst the top 5. A oversized novelty check to the race winner. And in the future Super Speedway shootouts, we'll be working with other small businesses as well to increase some cool prizes for these drivers. So very thankful for all the support this series has been getting. The safety car gets ready to make its way down pit road. And we still have 25 laps to wad up some perfectly good race trucks. Pace cars down pit road. All 16 drivers are out on track on the lead lap. Perkins, with a questionable launch, does not do a good job of maintaining his line at all. Race control may have some words with him about that. So it's going to be Perkins and Ward lined up on the inside line. Jane Hopp sitting on the inside line as well with Michael Keithley and Sean Williams. So it looks like it's going to be a single file party here for the time being. As I say that, that's going to be Jaden Hopp. Hops to the outside line with Michael Keithley in the 53 lending his support. So Zana letting us know Darnell took his time on pit road, wanting to work that number 99 machine further towards the back, keep himself out of the vortex of danger. That is a very wise decision, especially after we've seen a couple of cautions so far. Jaden Hopp looks like he's going to take over the race lead. Ryan Perkins is going to fall back to third on the inside line. The outside line has some legs here. That's Hopp, Keithley, Williams. 3 longtime friends and teammates working together. Oh, and things are getting a little bit exciting there in the battle for 4th and 5th. That was, I believe, John Kasai and Ryan Perkins trading a little bit of paint. This is an accident waiting to happen, as it looks like drivers struggling to hold their lines a little bit here. Now, you really can't see much at all. As let's see if we can get an onboard of Ryan Perkins. Yeah, that's a great shot. When you're nose to tail and you've got Shrek looking at you, the only Shrek back, number 53. Not a lot of vision out the front of these trucks. But Sean Williams is going to take over the race lead. John Kasai has a big run as well on the outside line, giving his support to Williams. Kasai in the lap 0 back, number 3, Toyota. As here comes, I think that's going to be Logan York trying to find his way up towards the front. Logan's showing some aggression. He's our hard charger, up 12 positions. David Schmidt giving his love and support to Carolus Thiel. Thiel already up into 9th. So that's actually 6 spots gained from Thiel. In total, I believe 7 from where he originally started. So Thiel has some legs now that he's on the lead lap. Sean Williams, John Kasai up front. Kasai, a bit of a newcomer here to Super Speedway Racing on iRacing. Getting a little bit of coaching from his friend and the what we call the Super Speedway protege, Levi Opitz. So good to see Kasai back in the mix. There's the number 89 machine of Sean Williams guarding the inside line up top. That is Kasai and Hopp linked up nose to tail. Gareth McAllister third in line on the high side. Michael Keithley third in line down low. Keep an eye out though on on Logan York. Up 13 positions in that 01 machine. He was very much a newcomer. And we did get an update from race control as well on penalties, so I did misspeak. The very first caution that I misappropriately put fault on Norman King, that was deemed a netcode incident by our race control Joseph Penn. Now the second incident was deemed at fault by King, so he received an EOL penalty. Kasai trying to hold on to it here, as there's a lot of excitement. He's getting some heavy pushes from Logan York. John Williams, John Kasai still side by side up front. That's second row. That's Jaden Hopp, Logan York. Third row is going to be Michael Keithley, Gareth McAllister. You can also see Ryan Perkins, that number 6 machine, still in the hunt here. More and more newcomers making their way out to our Super Speedway Shootout Series. Now we're running select Wednesday nights in 2023, and we're going to put together a full program in 2024. Where if we can get full grids, we're expecting over $20,000 in purse payouts for 2024. So it is going to be exciting to see how this series continues to develop. All 16 drivers still very much in the hunt. 19 laps left to go here at Daytona. John Kasai, feeling gutsy here, is going to take over the race lead on the inside line. He's got Sean Williams right in tow. Logan York leading the charge up in the high side. Third in line, that's going to be Jaden Hopp, the number 3. Oh, I heard a little bit of grinding back there. Not quite sure who that was. Maybe that was Levi Opitz, I think, the number 31. Had some sort of issue as he falls towards the back. And it looks like, for the most part, the field's going to be content going single file here until you get to about 5th place Logan York, who pulls up alongside Ryan Perkins, the number 6. Little bit of door-to-door contact there. There's the 92 machine of John Ward trying to give a push to Logan York to get back in the hunt. Now, these NASCAR trucks really lend themselves well to super speedway racing, a massive slipstream. And look at the run there from Logan York, getting the push from John Ward's 92 machine. Logan York might be able to take over the race lead here from Kasai. Is York going to leave his new partner in crime, John Ward, out to dry? No, Kasai is going to close the gap with a push from Sean Williams, the number 89 machine. There's Jaden Hopp still in the hunt as well. I believe out of the drivers entered, Hopp could be the first driver with back-to-back paydays. Yes, Hopp picked up about a $66 paycheck back on September 13th for our first Super Speedway event. So if he can bring it home in a good top 5 today, he will definitely be bringing home the most money so far year to date. Looks like the outside line getting back in some sort of groove. It's Kasai, Williams, Hopp, Keithley, Perkins, your top 5. Levi Opitz set the fastest lap of 47.87. 16 laps left to go. Now make it 15. Now once we're about 10 laps left to go, that's when the gloves are going to come off for these drivers. And I think you're going to start to see some big sends. If you remember the last Super Speedway event we had 2 drivers, I believe, finish backwards across the line after a huge incident out of lap 4. So that is what these guys are going to try and avoid. Kasai holding on to it here, still getting that push from Sean Williams. Jaden Hopp in 3rd. Michael Keithley 4th. Ryan Perkins still rounding out the top 5. Gareth McAllister kind of on his own up there on the high side. Looking for some draft support, not quite finding it as of yet. But it looks like I think that outside line is going to get formed up here. And then we're going to see some fireworks start to unfold. Now Lindsay makes another great point. Very tough, even for me up here in the booth, to really root on anybody. I'd say 80-90% of these drivers we've all called races, if not a bunch of races in the past with, either in the Team Goon Squad series or other leagues across iRacing. We've seen a lot of these drivers putting in work, so it's very tough to kind of pick an odds-on favorite, and everybody out on track is very likable. I mean, this is some of the friendliest group of racers that you'll ever meet on iRacing. Even though there is money on the line, drivers at the end of the day realize, hey, this is a sim. We're here for a good time to put on a good show for our fans, and we've got some green flag pit stops here, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Perkins, Bradley Stefan, John Ward, Danny Barnes, Logan York, and John Darnell down pit road. So they're thinking we're going to go green here till the end, so we might actually have some strategy in play. The top 10 drivers all opt to stay out. Let's see if anybody has a quick pit stop here. Looks like everybody's going to take enough fuel to make it till the end. Out of that pit cycle, John Ward, the fastest pit crew, a 6.88 second stop. So finally some green flag stops at play, and it looks like we're going to have a few more drivers coming down pit road. A lot of drivers down pit road. Oh, Sean Williams hard on the binders. Hopefully he's not going to get a speeding penalty there. And look at this, the 3-lap zero trucks stay out. John Kasai, Levi Opitz, Norman King going to try and work together to put a bit of a gap on the rest of the field. 12 laps left to go. We finally seen some green flag stops. As a broadcaster and racer myself, I love watching the green flag pit cycles, allowing these drivers to show their prowess on and off the track. Now John Kasai is going to let his two teammates by. Kasai said in the past he really struggled with the green flag pit stops here on Super Speedway, so maybe having his two teammates right ahead of him will help him out a little bit. As you can see, those three team trucks get slowed down, coming down pit road together. And it looks like everybody's going to get on pit road safely. So I believe this is going to put Gareth McAllister as your race leader after the pit cycle's complete. With his friend Carolus Steele, the number 16, he's going to get bumped up to second. But only a two-car pack, and you can see the rest of the field closing back. That's Sean Williams, Michael Keithley, Scott Schuer, Jaden Hopp. The second pack, 11 laps left to go. Levi Opitz, Kasai. Oh, Norman King had a bad stop. He might have taken tires there as he falls way down the standings. You can see Opitz and Kasai. Going to be another two-car show. Gareth McAllister is going to take over the race lead for the first time here tonight. Oh no, and a big blink from McAllister at the most inopportune time. Look at the freight train of drivers behind that top two. That's McAllister and Thiel, the two-car pack up front. Michael Keithley leading the rest of the field right behind, and that is a freight train led by Keithley. He's got Scott Schuer, Jaden Hopp, John Ward, Sean Williams, Logan York, Bradley Stefan all in the mix here, and we're going to get some three-wide action. As that looked like it was Scott Schuer squeezed in the middle of that number 4 machine. He's side by side, door to door with McAllister. We're 10 laps left to go here at the Team Goon Squad Super Speedway Shootout. Michael Keithley is going to take over the race lead. Jaden Hopp now in second, Scott Schuer third, McAllister and John Ward will round out the top 5. 10 laps left to go. This is where the gloves come off. Logan York trying something on the far high side. Not able to get the steam he looks for. There's Scott Schuer taking over the race lead, the number 4. Still have 16 drivers on the lead lap, about 10 drivers in this lead pack. It is not over until it's over at Super Speedway Racing as Scott Schuer, John Ward side by side up front. Michael Keithley, Careless Steele side by side the second row. Hop and York make up the third row as we are 2 wide, 3 rows deep here at Daytona. Charging down the backstretch, John Ward's got a big run on the outside line. Drops down low in front of Scott Schuer. Careless Steele's going to lead the high side. He's got Logan York giving him a shove from behind. You can see McAllister lagging back a little bit, number 25. He's third in line on the high. So 10 drivers all on this very tight lead pack. Only the top 5 pay out here tonight. Oh, as it looks like Thiel trying to make that truck 3 wide in the middle. John Ward's going to slide up the inside line. We've got contact in the outside wall. That's going to be Gareth McAllister having a bit of a run-in with the safety barrier. Not slowing down too much, but we're 3 wide down the backstretch here at Daytona. This is where things are getting exciting. The vortex of danger. John Ward on the inside line. Careless Steele running the middle groove, trying to block the 89. That is going to be Jaden Hopp, I believe. No, excuse me. I think that's Bradley Stefan maybe running the wrong transponder number. Logan York still working the high side. Danny Barnes, the number 7, set the fastest lap of 47.66 of the race. Stefan, a newcomer here, trying to muscle his way through, but he's got Thiel in front of him. Danny Barnes behind. John Ward still guarding that inside line, the number 92 machine. Stefan, a hearty shove to Careless Steele. Steele was a last-second entry. Having his spot paid by Jeremy Barber. As we are going to go 3 wide once more. Thiel stuck in the middle, but it's Bradley Stefan up front. Teammates with Danny Barnes. 6 laps left to go here at Daytona. It is anybody's guess who's going to bring it home here in the top 10. One mistake will put a large portion of these contender drivers out of the running. Hopp has fallen back to the 9th place spot. I think he's backing a lot on purpose here in that Toyota. I think he's seeing a crash maybe in the future. Now, if we can take the white flag before we have a caution, we will not use any of our 1 of 3 green-white checker attempts. Green-white checker attempts, overtime conditions at Super Speedway, where we'll reset the clock, put 3 more laps on the board. Last event, we only used 1 green-white checker attempt. We are 5 laps left to go. Still 10 drivers in this lead pack. Anybody's chance. If you're this top 10, you have a very good chance of bringing home some money here today. Thiel shown as the race leader up on the middle line. John Ward, Danny Barnes, Bradley Stefan, Logan York in the top 5. That is a lot of new names and faces. Michael Keithley has a little bit of a shuffle there, dips below the double yellow, gets back in line. Careless Steele, a good run up on the outside line. He's got Danny Barnes, the number 7, pushing him. Now I think Thiel's going to guard that spot as there's contact. The outside line checks up heavily. They are nose to bumper. There is no room for mistakes here as we're 4 laps left to go. Now I think Thiel's going to guard that middle line, preventing the outside line to get too much momentum. But Danny Barnes says, you know what? I'm not going to wait. I've got Logan York tucked in behind me. But now Thiel is going to have McAllister. There was Michael Keithley. Went way up against the wall there. I think trying to get out of the danger zone. It's going to be 3 laps left to go as we cross the line. It's Barnes, York, Ward, your top 3, Stefan, and Schuer making up the top 5. We got Steve SimStation joining us a little bit late here. As we're in the final 3 laps of our second Super Speedway shootout. We've got $188 up for grabs in purse money. Oh, and things are going to get really exciting really quick. Around goes Bradley Stefan. Oh no, and then looks like Scott Schuer is going to get tagged after the yellow was thrown. And we are going to use those green-white checker attempts after all. Let's check in on Bradley Stefan, see what happened to the number 89 machine. Oh, let's back that up. That's a tough one to call. I see Careless Steele, Logan York involved in that one. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to focus in on Careless Steele. And let's slow this down. So you're focusing on the number 16, Careless Steele on the inside line in our lap 0. It looks like York may came up. That puts Steele into Bradley Stefan. And then Scott Schuer is going to spin. Thankfully, the field able to hold on to it here. What excellent car control by Scott Schuer. Granted, he does end up spinning around, but able to hold on to it, braking and gassing at the right moment. And that is going to indeed put us into overtime conditions, our first of 3 green-white checker attempts. Oh boy, oh boy. We're going to wait on race control's word. It's being declared a racing incident from Joseph Penn, saying the drivers really didn't have anywhere to go on that one. Now Logan York, Gareth McAllister, Bradley Stefan, Scott Schuer, and Norman King all down pit road. Jeremy Barber having time to send a text under eye-pacing conditions. Gotta say, a big fan of that really fancy microphone he's rocking as well at his home rig. Let's focus in on Barber. Make sure still holding a line consistently. You see him start laughing. I think he's got the broadcast pulled up on a second monitor. If he does, we'll try and get a thumbs up here from Barber, letting us know that he's listening. But at least he did have good car control under eye-pacing conditions, texting while driving. We do not condone that here at Team Goon Squad. We have not seen a thumbs up from Barber, so maybe he does not have it pulled up. Gotta say, oh, there we go. A big thumbs up from Jeremy Barber. He's got the broadcast pulled up on a separate device. Yeah, good point by David Schmidt. Barber on a brand new wheel and setup. All right, Barber, focus on the road here, buddy. We got racing to do. The Jeremy Barber rocking the new direct drive wheel seems to be going well for him here. Joseph Penn, our race control, join us in the spectator area, letting us know all the drivers bunched up on the lead lap. And it's a final shootout. Now, if we can take the white flag without another incident, we will finish this thing up here. And again, not to toot my own horn, but I am a huge fan of the driver cameras. A little bit extra being added to the Team Goon Squad Super Speedway shootouts. Let the drivers see the drivers, kind of see those live reactions. So with this start, it's John Ward, Danny Barnes the front row, Michael Keithley, Careless Steele your second row, Jaden Hopp, Sean Williams your third row. All 16 drivers bunched up on the lead lap. And it is going to be exciting. There's no time left to play it safe. You're about to see some drivers lick the stamp and send it here at Daytona. The Team Goon Squad Super Speedway Shootout, sponsored by Lap Zero, Propane Depot, as well as the East Action Sports. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to bring this thing hopefully to a close. As we get ready for the iRacing safety car to make its way down pit road, all the fans, broadcaster, racers alike on the edge of their seats. 16 drivers, only the top 5 are taking home a payday here. Jaden Hopp looking to be the first Team Goon Squad driver with back-to-back paychecks here at the Super Speedway Series. Everybody else inside the top 5 looking for a first-time paycheck. Going from memory here. On track, Jaden Hopp, the only driver with a chance to go back-to-back. Previous cash winners unable to make it, but the safety car is down pit road. The start's going to be on John Ward. He's got his teammate, I believe that's his teammate Danny Barnes, accompanying him on the high side. If we can take the white flag, there will be no more cautions, no more pit stops. We've had green flag stops. We've had huge crashes. Let's see how this is going to shape up. John Ward, Michael Keithley on the inside line. There's Jaden Hopp also on the inside. Danny Barnes trying to get the outside line formed up. He's got Careless Steel, and we've got drivers hopping all over the place. John Ward, Michael Keithley going up high. They're going to try and pick up Danny Barnes. John Ward's going to drop back down low. A huge shove from Jaden Hopp to the back of the bumper. A big hit to the number 92 machine. That was an aggressive bump draft. Drivers have got to hold it together here as they make their way out of turn 4, coming across the tri-oval here at Daytona. The white flag will fly, and we are going to bring this thing out. No, there's going to be a caution at the end. Ryan Perkins, Careless Steel, Logan York, Bradley Stefan showing involved in that one. We are going to go to second overtime conditions. We were so entirely close to making this thing till the end. We know Ryan Perkins was involved. Let's get the replay queued up here. So we're focusing on Perkins, the number 6 machine. Is it going to be ahead of Perkins? Oh, who is that just ahead? Gets bumped around. Oh, that's going to be a big one. There's the number 89 involved in that one. Perkins goes for a wild ride across the infield. Was that Scott Schuer, I wonder? Yeah, Scott Schuer tied up in that one. Bradley Stefan finds himself pointing the wrong direction. Stefan takes a tow back to pit road. But the caution did come out before... I believe before the field cross line. That's a tough one, but iRacing throwing the cautions here. John Ward comes down pit road. I wonder if he's short on fuel. Oh boy, my heart rate. What is my heart rate? Let's check up here in the booth. I'm hitting about 95 beats per minute. And I'm just in the broadcast booth, ladies and gentlemen. Careless Steel, Bradley Stefan down pit road. I don't know if Stefan is going to make his way back onto the racetrack. He did take a tow after that incident. Now, it looks like John Ward. Did he take fuel? It shows a 5.88 second stop. Yes, he did take fuel, splashing up till the end. So on the front row, oh, this is going to be, my heart can't take it. The front row is going to be Michael Keithley, Jaden Hopp, Danny Barnes, John Kasai. Your second row, Sean Williams, Logan York. Your third row, looks like Careless Thiel, Bradley Stefan, I believe, are both going to be retired from this one. So that is going to put us down to 14 drivers, our second green-white checker attempt. We grid them up, double file, what could be the final time. We were so incredibly close as we were under our fourth caution of the night. And we did get a report it was Careless Thiel, the number 16 machine, being faulted with that incident. He has went ahead and retired from this event. A shame to see that. He was running so well, but sometimes mistakes happen. So we had Thiel being rewarded the penalty from race control. One driver received a mute from the in-game communications from race control. Again, we have a very serious no temper tantrum policy at any of the Team Goon Squad series. If drivers have a problem with one another, they're welcome to take it to private messages. But we will not tolerate driver-to-driver animated conversations is what we're going to call that. So Joseph Penn putting in the work here tonight in the race control booth. Pace car gets ready to come down pit road. We're on our second out of possible third green-white checker attempt. Keithley Hopp, your front row. Barnes Kasai, the second row. Williams and York, your third row. Top five payout. Green flag is out. Michael Keithley gets this show started, the number 53 machine. Danny Barnes, that inside line, is going to try and follow suit. Jaden Hopp needs some draft support on the outside line. Looks like, I think that's going to be John Kasai maybe lending his support. But Michael Keithley goes up high. He wants to work with Hopp. Meanwhile, Barnes has Sean Williams behind him. Look at the big run there from Gareth McAllister on the outside line, the number 25 machine. Force it into a three-wide situation. Again, if we take the white flag, there will be no more overtime rounds here. But McAllister has no love and no draft support up top. He's going to get hung out to dry. Michael Keithley, Jaden Hopp side by side on the inside line. That's Barnes and Kasai right behind him. There's a few teams still in the mix here, but nobody really has the support they're looking for. White flag is out. However, it's going to shake down, and this is how it's going to be. Hopp trying to get the outside line working. He's got John Kasai lending his support. Michael Keithley's going to guard the inside line with everything he's got. We make our way down the backstretch of Daytona for the final time. We're three wide. It looks to be 2 rows deep. Kasai up on the high side, looking for support, not able to find it. Michael Keithley holding on to the inside line. Jaden Hopp working the outside. He's got Logan York giving him a shove. There's the 92. John Ward still in the mix. As we make our way through 3 and 4, we've got a huge crash and blow over. We'll get the replay queued up, but the checkered flag is out. Oh, what a great finish. It's going to be Jaden Hopp at the line. Michael Keithley second, Logan York third, Danny Barnes fourth, and John Ward the top 5. Jaden Hopp is going to bring home his first Super Speedway win. Accompanied by Michael Keithley, Logan York on the podium. Danny Barnes, John Ward will round out the paint positions. Trying to see who that was with the absolutely spectacular blowover. I thought that was John Darnell. My goodness, what a violent crash that was. So Darnell goes for the ride of his life. And up front, I mean, everybody's crashing. I see 2 lap 0 trucks involved in that one. That's Levi Opitz, John Kasai. I think Ryan Perkins was involved in that as well. And let's back this up a little bit. This is going to be a spectacular replay. There's Keithley and Hop. Oh, let's back that up just a smidgen. Look how close Jaden Hop had it at the line there, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to get these drivers up here to victory lane. And Jaden Hop's going to put on a smoke show for the fans at home. What a well-deserved win for the young Jaden Hop. What a well-deserved win. He's got to be absolutely ecstatic here. Jerry Krause saying, thank God it's all virtual crashes. And looks like Michael Keithley is going to join him there in the 53. 2 good friends putting on a great show. So we're going to try and get these drivers up here to the waiting room. So up first, we're going to get Mr. Logan York joining us, a newcomer here at Team Goon Squad. Logan, you and I talked before the race started. You were kind of laughing, saying, hey, man, I've got no chance of bringing home any money. But here you are sitting in 3rd place, a wild finish, and you've got to be happy with how you ran here tonight. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Thanks for the host, first of all. But yeah, I really wasn't expecting much. I don't really race with most of these guys that are here. Yeah, I'm looking out my window right now to see if hell's freezing over, but it doesn't look like it is. So.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
I mean, Logan. So, like you said, you normally don't have good luck at super speedways. You came out tonight. It's a bit of an unknown series for you. Your first time here, first time, I believe. I mean, 20 minutes before the race started, you joined the Team Goon Squad Discord. A bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with. How much tougher does that make that at a race when you really don't know who you're going elbow to elbow with?
Oh yeah, it's definitely adds to the challenge a lot because you never know like who to push because you don't know who's good at holding a line. You don't know who's going to go with you. You don't know who can run the top. So that's just stuff you have to figure out during the race. But everybody else kind of knows already the ins and outs of how people drive.
Well, hey, man, you did a great job. At the end of the day, you brought it home in that 3rd place spot. I know you're pumped. Before I let you go celebrate with the rest of your teammates, who do you want to give a shout to that helps make this finishing position possible for you?
I just want to thank Jaden, the winner, because he did a really good job holding his line there at the end. I now know I'm able to trust him with pushing him, so I think it's pretty cool that I was able to recognize that. But yeah, Jaden, if he wasn't as good as holding a line as he is, I would not have been able to get 3rd.
Awesome. Logan, welcome to the Team Goon Squad family. Congratulations on the first third, and hope to have you back up here more often, my friend.
For sure. Thank you.
That was Logan York bringing it home in third. Up next, Mr. Stay Out of My Swamp, Michael Keithley bringing it home in second. Michael, last Super Speedway event, we saw the Shrek careening across the screen, and a moment of what's the opposite of glory? Defeat, I guess I would say. But how good does it feel for a bit of redemption here tonight, bringing it home in that second place spot, tied with the most amount of money coming home to you?
Well, I mean, if I lost to anybody, it's got to be one of my boys and Jaden, so I'll take it. The plan. I was gonna try to get in front of him and have him push me, but I lost it coming out of 2, and so I just stuck to the bottom. But it feels good.
Well, so I mean, Mike, I'm glad things worked out well. It seemed like we almost had a much cleaner finish than races prior. We were so incredibly close to taking the white flag on that first green-white checker attempt. Was it a relief or a bit of anxiety-inducing having the second green-white checker come into play?
I'm not gonna lie, because we were at the line and we had the white, and then it switched to yellow at the last minute. So I wasn't really happy about that. But knowing I had control, as long as I had someone by me how these trucks are, if I just stayed in a line, it'd be good. Like, I got a good enough jump start, and I knew Jaden would have stayed behind me, like I said, when I went up front, but I got loose and had to go back to the bottom. So the only thing that was really concerning was our second to last caution when as soon as I went up to the high side to try and go around them, they wrecked in 3, and I barely missed that. So it was almost a bad day for the Shrek machine again.
Well, glad things worked out well for you. I know Super Speedway's a little bit of a wild card on how things are going to go, but I mean, you and your friends played so well. You guys ran such a clean race. All in all, you got to be happy with how tonight went.
Oh yeah, and I love coming to super speedways because I feel like I'm more aggressive than the others, and I'll make the moves before anybody else will. Sometimes that bites me, sometimes that gets me second place. So it's just, yeah, like you said, it's a wild card, and I'm happy with my finish tonight.
Awesome, Mike. Congratulations, bud. Good to have you back up here. Pumped for you and the Shrek machine. Before I let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to that helped make it happen for you?
Give a shout out to you for having this and running it, and everyone involved with race control and broadcasting. Shout out to Jaden, Scott, Sean, and Mashmore, and a lot of the VRL guys that were watching, rooting for us. We were discussing pit strategy and stuff, and usually in these types of tracks we just stick together and till the end, and then it's a free-for-all. So all those guys I'll give a shout out to.
Awesome. Mike, congratulations, buddy. Good to have you back up here. Congrats on the payday, and hope to have you back up here for the next one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was Michael Keithley bringing it home in second. But up next, we've got the man, the myth, the young legend, Jaden Hopp, joining us in the top spot on the podium, representing the Toyota, representing the old VRL gang. Jaden, welcome back. The first driver to win back-to-back paychecks, your first win, and a novelty check being sent to you. What are you feeling right now, bud?
Well, I'm feeling pretty great. Thank you.
So, Jaden, I mean, it was an action-packed night. We saw that machine up front for a large portion of it, but it seemed like a little bit more racing at the front this go-around than what we saw in races past.
Yeah, it sure felt like it, but I don't know. 2 weeks was too long ago, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And talking about recent races, you just locked up the Team Goon Squad Gen 4 Cup Series Championship this past Monday. Did that give you a little bit of confidence coming to this Super Speedway event and kind of maybe a little bit of an extra push to drive well?
I mean, maybe a little bit. The Daytona is always super unpredictable, that is. So you don't know how it's going to go. I didn't even know I was going to be in that position on the last lap.
And speaking of the last laps, we were so incredibly close to not using the second green-white checker attempt. And we talked to Keithley about this as well. Was that a little bit anxiety-inducing for you, or were you kind of hoping to wrap that thing up on the first green-white checker?
I'd say it was a little anxiety-inducing because I was kind of hoping to finish it after the first one, or before the first one, since we were on the first one. But it ended up working out for the better anyway.
Well, glad it worked out well for you. I know your mom and a lot of family were absolutely losing it in the spectator area. I'm guessing you're buying dinner for the rest of the week for the family after such a big win. But, Jane, before I let you go celebrate, I know there's a list of people. Who do you want to give a shout to that helps make this first Super Speedway win possible for you?
Oh, as always, I'd like to shout out you and James, everyone at Team Goon Squad for putting on these events and these races, and the broadcast. They're always fun to go back and watch and compete each week. I'd like to thank my mom, grandma, uncles for watching and cheering me on, and then about time I remember to shout them out. I'd like to shout out my sponsor, Living Dead Girl. Check her out on YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, and a bunch of others I can't remember at this moment.
No worries. I know the excitement is real. Jaden, congratulations, man. It's been an awesome week for you, and hope to have you back up here in the future, and we wish you the best of success in everything you do here, bud.
Thank you. Hope to see you more going forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That was Jaden Hopp bringing it home in the number 1 spot here at the Super Speedway Shootout. He was accompanied by Michael Keithley in second. Logan York rounded out the podium. Danny Barnes and John Ward round out the top 5 in the cash payout positions. On behalf of the Lap Zero podcast, Propane Depot, as well as TeamGoonSquad.com, my name has been James East, your host, your broadcaster, and the biggest fan of all you guys. Thank you all so much for supporting our series, supporting our drivers, as well as supporting the broadcast, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.